of compounding over time.
Right.
You think, God, if I just save $500 a month, that's nothing. I need to be rich. I need to, come up with this Mark Zuckerberg idea of Facebook or something. And that's where we've kind of gone with becoming rich in America.
Yeah.
That's not how people got rich in America. You put that money away, and then once you have this nest egg, you look for good, sound investments that you can go out. And now I'm a big believer in really taking control of who's behind it and, really doing your research. But in most cases, I want it to be me behind that, right? With my own money, because I trust myself that way. But so then we can take that. But so in the book, we're going to, show people how to set up a system that works like clockwork, that they can control and manage, that they have liquid access to. If they have a medical thing, they can take care of it. If they have an investment opportunity, if they want to buy a car or whatever. And if they do it right, then they end up with more money. Yeah. And then down the road, you can turn on a stream of tax-free income. Yeah. Or with the other strategy, if you already have a lump sum of money and you're going, okay, can the market really go any higher? With this plan, you're only ever 12 months away from taking advantage of the market. And what I mean by that is, let's say you put $100,000 in, and 4 months from now, the market drops 20%. Well, in 8 months, your account resets, right? And now you get to ride the market back up, but you didn't have to lose any money to get that reset.
Yeah,
that's
if you're going to do
amazing.
that, that's pretty great.
It's called the annual reset. It's one of the most powerful things, but it's only these insurance companies that are willing to offer it, because they have so much money and experience that they're just willing to play the long game versus the short game. And that's what Wall Street gets into trouble. Yeah, they start trying to play these short games and, we got a stock call in 90 days. What are we going to do to bump this up and not get fired?
Okay, so this, I think, is a great plan. I think we need to kind of set our minds toward that and think differently and invest money in this way so we can borrow from ourselves. I think that's beautiful. Now, I know that you have another book, too, that we were going to talk about, The Smartest Woman in the Room. So I want to hear about that book also and what that is about.
Yeah, if you want to, if you ever want to be heckled, try writing a book for women being a man. But, I got a lot of pushback in my industry because the financial industry is very male heavy and very male focused. Yeah. I remember when I was new, over a decade ago, I'd go with a manager to learn a new technique or something, and we'd sit down with the husband and wife, and they'd only talk to the husband.
And that's annoying as a woman.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, why aren't they? So, degrading. But now study after study shows that women control most of the money in America. But they have they have less education when it comes to money. And there was a survey done recently that if you don't understand money as a woman, where do you go? And their answer was Google.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, yes.
So, but that doesn't mean you're going to get good advice, right? And so you need a mentor who knows the good, the bad, and the ugly, that has set a path. I mean, that's what I love about the word pathfinder, if you really break it down. It's someone who finds the path and walks it, and then you follow that person. You need a pathfinder to get through that. But with Smartest Woman in the Room, that goes over a way of doing really advanced real estate that you can control.
Love that.
Stuff that I know Dory is doing on her own, stuff that other clients are doing. And then it talks about these insurance contracts and in tandem.
Okay,
then it goes through and says, okay, once you have this built up, and it's guaranteed that you're not going to lose, and if you die, your family's taken care of. Now we have the foundation in place. Now let's go buy a rental property, or let's go do a hard money loan that we control and make sure that we're not going to get taken advantage on. So that's what Smartest Woman in the Room is about. And even though I got a lot of pushback, a lot of my clients are women, brilliant women that control money, and they're hungry to know stuff. Well, and so I just felt like, you know what, I need to write this book.
What I also love about that is, a woman can read that book and start gaining some knowledge and getting some understanding on how to do this. And maybe she's a stay-at-home mom, and the husband is the main breadwinner. And if he's bringing the money home, she actually can make the family successful.
Yes.
He can go and do the work that brings in the money, and she can take the money and start going, okay, we're going to invest in this real estate, or we're going to invest in this insurance, and actually grow that for them,
Right.
so that the husband can continue to work. And
Yeah.
and so I
Right.
think this is great for any woman out there, whether she's married or not, but to gain some knowledge so that she can take care of that.
Well, and to come to a
And do
place,
that.
too, where you feel empowered, if
Yeah.
I can use that word, to step out and do these kinds of things and feel like, I know, I have the knowledge, I can do
Yeah.
it, I can, have this for myself.
Yeah, and you go, hey, babe, go out and work, and when you get back...
Or even if you're on
we've
your
got
own,
all these other
however.
things. Yes.
Yeah.
So that, yes.
Yeah.
And, yes.
I will say very boldly to any woman listening to this, which sounds like it's most of them, if you're married or in a committed relationship or you have children with a man, get a plan on your man. And the reason I say that is if he is the main breadwinner and he dies, you don't want to be left without that money, right?
Yep.
And if he lives, statistically speaking, you will still outlive him.
Yeah.
And I've said this to a lot of wives, and for some reason this seems to sink in, is I say, listen, I can tell that you love your husband. Statistically, he's going to die before you will. But statistically speaking, you are going to blow through almost all of your family money trying to keep him alive. And then you will still outlive him, and then you will live in poverty.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be nice, after doing all of that caretaking, to have a big chunk of money come back?
Right.
And so if you have a man, get a plan. If you
I
don't,
love that.
if you don't have a man, get a plan. The reason being is then this is such an empowering tool. The women I have in these plans, they walk with confidence. I remember one of my clients, she makes like $150,000 a year. She wasn't saving hardly any money. I asked her why. She said, I didn't have a plan.
Yeah,
Why would
that's really it.
Yeah, if I don't feel
sure.
confident in the place I'm sticking money, and now she's built up over $100,000 inside of her plan.
Wow,
and
that's
she's
great.
she's starting to flip houses out in Connecticut.
Wow.
Yeah, she's
Love
just
it.
getting started, but it's exciting. So, whether you want it on somebody else. The other thing to keep in mind is if you do put this on your man, and unfortunately your marriage ends in divorce, then the court will give you half of that. and
you should have a plan.
Yeah, and they won't allow the husband to switch the beneficiary down the road typically. Especially if you have children.
Yeah,
and so it
good.
locks that in. And so then you can hold that over him the rest of his life.
So, Steve, are you the man that can give us a plan?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Not only do I understand these really well, and I've, read every book a dozen times, I've written books on it, but I think my greatest asset that I bring to the game is that I've been doing this myself. So my wife and I have bought multiple rental properties out of our plan. We've done multiple cars. I paid for the birth of my last child with my plan. We went to Puerto Rico for 10 days as a family 3 years ago. Paid for that and then paid it back. We've done some hard money lending. Some of them have done well, some of them have not. But in the end, it's just nice to know that even when my money's out of my plan, it's still earning as if it were in my plan.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so you need to get this book for sure.
yes, and he's got, how many books did
Painting
you
Wall
say?
Street. 7.
So I have 7 books.
7
They're
books.
all available on Amazon.
Okay.
Taming Wall Street is probably the most comprehensive.
Yeah.
It's also the shortest.
Right.
Because I really tried to speak to people through stories and examples and not just statistics and all the, like you can read Tony Robbins' 600-page book with 8-point font and go blind, or you can read my 115-page on. It's short on purpose, and it's mostly here's how to get this thing done and make more money.
And you have another book coming out.
Yes, I have another book coming out. That one's going to be just for doctors.
Okay, and he has a really cute little spiritual book.
Oh, yes, Christmas Pajamas. That came out, and I got to tell you, that has been such a God, I don't even know what the right word is, but the story came to me. I wrote it down. It took me 3.5 years to get it published and get the right author, or excuse me, the right illustrator, and we put it out. And it's about losing a child. And I've had random texts at midnight come in. Oh, I lost our child to a drowning 3 years ago. This brought hope back to Christmas.
Wow.
My child was hit by a car. This brought hope back to Christmas. So that one has been, I guess the word I'm looking for is fulfilling.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And you can get
That is
that one
very
on
cool.
Amazon.
That one's available on Amazon as well.
Steve, spell your last name.
Gardner, Gardner.
Okay.
And how can people get a hold of you?
If they want to go to my website, yourbridgeplan.com, I am the bridge to get you to from where you are now to where you want to be. And we'll walk you through. I'm a no-pressure guy. I really am just all about education and trying to help mentor people in the right direction.
I love that, and we all need that. I like learning more about money and what to do with it and how to make more money if we can, you know, so that we can do the things that we want to do and help other people.
Yes.
So thanks, Steve.
Yes.
It's
Thank
been
you for
great
having me
having
on.
you. And it's funny because I've spent time with Steve and his wife, and I never even knew what he did.
And I know,
I said, oh, I can't believe you're an author. And all of this I never even knew.
I
so
know.
this is very cool. Now I know much more about you.
Yes, yeah. Well, read the book that I brought you. And,
Definitely, I will.
Yeah, if people
Sean
want
and
to
I
pick it
both.
up, it's on Amazon. And you know what? Could I make a special offer?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, I'm only. This is the only time I've ever made this.
Okay.
If somebody buys the book on Amazon, whether you like it or not, if you will email me proof that you bought it, I will reimburse you.
Wow.
But it has to say from the Dory and Lori show.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure. They can let me
Fit
know.
and hippie.
Yeah,
I mean, fit and hippie.
They
Has to
can
be
let
the
me
Dory
know.
and Lori. Fit and hippie.
Yeah. So, that way, there's no
Risk.
cost to them.
Yeah.
But I think
wow,
what they'll
that's very
walk
cool.
away with is an idea of going, okay, wait a minute. If I put this amount of money away, I have how many hundreds of thousands of dollars at age 65?
Yeah.
Or how many millions of dollars? I mean, that for me is, I go through the plan slow when I'm talking to a new person.
Yeah.
And then when we get down to there, people are like, oh my gosh, $800,000?
Yeah.
$1.8 million?
Yeah.
And if you let it go 5 more years, now you've got 1.4 million, and they're like, wow.
Yeah.
What's the next step? I love that question.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
so great.
I love it. And what a generous offer. So remember, when you order that on Amazon, you email Steve, tell him that you heard our interview on Fit and Hippie, and he'll reimburse you for your book. That's
Yep,
pretty
absolutely.
cool.
Happy to
Love
And
it.
how about if you really like the book, you email him anyways and tell him you really like the book.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. And make
And-
sure to give it a review on Amazon.
And make sure to give it a
right.
review and go on our Fit and Hippie page and tell us how much you like the book so we can share
Love
that around.
it. So we like to ask our guests. What their most embarrassing moment is. Do you have something you can share with us?
Oh, my most embarrassing moment. Can I tell one about my wife? No. She's going to hear this.
She's going to have her own opportunity.
Oh, let's see. Can I tell 2?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay,
yay.
two just popped into my mind. Okay, so when I was 19 years old, I did a Christian service mission in Puerto Rico, and there was a picture on the wall, and we sat down. I didn't speak very good Spanish at the time, and I said to the family, I said to the husband, "You look just like your grandpa," and he goes, "That's my grandma." Oh no!
That's really bad, Steve.
And I sat there and I was like, you know what? I don't even know what to say. Let's just get out of this house.
Yeah. I have pictures in my heritage that sometimes you can't tell the man from
man or the woman.
I'm like, those Hungarians, I don't know.
Well, this one was like black and white, and just the frame was a little too close, So, but yeah, that was an embarrassing moment. Another one related to what I do is when somebody works with me, I will send them an email with a link that lets them see my screen as we go through. And I was walking through a plan with this woman.
Is this a naked thing?
No, people ask me all the time. You work out of your home office mostly. Are you in your pajamas? No, I get dressed up this is what I wore today.
Yep.
So, well, they can't see this, but I'm dressed nice today. So
he's always dressed nice.
But with this woman, I send her the link. I'm going through, and I can hear her chewing, but I don't think anything of it. And I'm going through, and I'm explaining.